And I also want to say to the workers in the private sector that
This
you have an
is
obligation to
Antigua
report to work,
Newsroom.
because I understand too that the ABWU, that they have given instructions that their workers who they represent should stay home. Now, I want to caution the people not to follow those irresponsible instructions.
This is
You
Antigua
know,
Newsroom.
I don't know if Jupiter can find this, but there's an article that you would have read on this program, at least on a couple of occasions, in which in 2019, as representing Antigua and Barbuda as one of the shareholder governments of LIAT, we met with ABWU and some other unions in the region about LIAT. And the recommendation was that the staff should take a 10% haircut in order to save LIAT and to get all of the shareholders to put in some fresh money. And they dilly-dallied and refused. In fact, it was a union itself, or the group of unions led by the ABWU, that advised their workers not to cooperate. In that particular article, I said at the time that if they did not cooperate, that they will not only lose their jobs, they're going to lose their severance, because LIAT would collapse, and that LIAT has no available assets of any significance that would result in any payment of severance. I got abused by the LIAT workers. I didn't know that COVID would follow the following year. In fact, COVID followed, and exactly what we're trying to avoid occurred. Just imagine if we had gotten a cash injection and the governments are still committed to supporting LIAT. I mean, if they had to let go of a few people, maybe 10%. Instead, 90% of them are home now. Or if I'm exaggerating, at least 80%, because LIAT still has over 100 workers right now. 80% of them are home. Many of them have no employment prospects, and I feel sorry for them. But if they had listened to me, their position would have been much different. And you know the irony about it, when some of them call the ABWU now, they're not taking the calls, because ABWU, the Antigua Workers Union, does not have any alternative for them. I'm saying that to say to all of you private sector workers, those of you who work for the hotels and so on, statutory organizations, I say to you all, do not listen to those political people in the Antigua Workers Union who are literally, they're playing, what should I say now? They're playing with people's lives and livelihoods. And we have to understand too, that the ABWU is closely aligned to the UPP. So they are literally carrying out political directives from the UPP, and they're literally playing with people's lives. They're playing politics. You got to see it, because if you go and give up your job irresponsibly in this guava crop over some kind of foolishness about vaccination, when you don't have a whole heap of vaccinations in your body already. And the fact is, all of us would have had health problems or may not be alive if we didn't have vaccinations. If you go and follow them, you lose your work. Where are you going to get work from? Who's going to employ you? So I want to say to them that the ABWU has a track record of encouraging workers to take responsible positions. And then when they lose their work, they lose their severance, they walk away. A case in point is LIAT.